even though we flubbed it. I'm going to catch the minions here with these arrows, most likely. Yeah, that was really the only thing he had in hand for that. That was great. So, what's up, everyone? It's Durkee here, and today we're going to be playing one of the best decks in Clash Royale right now. It's also my most hated deck of all time, and probably one of the easiest decks to play. If you're someone that's struggling to get trophies or get out of a certain arena, this deck is for you. While I don't think this is necessarily the best deck in the game, I think proportionate to the skill that it requires to play, it's the best deck. The defense in this deck is so strong. You have the Royal Recruits, the Zappies, the Goblin Cage, as well as 3 spells, so you don't have that many bad matchups. Most of the time, you can just split troops at the back, build up a big push, and your opponents don't know how to defend. And on top of that, Evo Recruits are just broken. So I'm going to hop into some games. I'll show you all how to use this deck to its full potential. But before I do that, for any of you watching, I want to humbly ask for you to smash that like button. Please consider subscribing to my channel as well. It's completely free for you. I post every single day and it does help me immensely. So I appreciate that. Let's get into some games. All right, into our match here. We'll go ahead and toss out the good luck. And this person has a top 400 tournament finish in the entire world. So I'm sure they're pretty decent at the game, so we'll see if we can get a dub here. Knight doesn't tell me much, except that I think that's most likely his evolution. I'll go ahead and take the arrows here. It's free value for me. Knight minions doesn't tell me a whole lot, although it does tell me some things. I'm going to go in here on the opposite lane, maybe force out some elixir. Okay, we see the mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. actually doesn't do that great of a job, interestingly enough, at cleaning up all of that. Okay. We see all of that. I'm going to go ahead and go for the flying machine as well. It's going to help take care of the mini P.E.K.K.A. That's like the biggest threat. Okay, so mini P.E.K.K.A. gets one swing on our tower. We didn't necessarily defend that perfectly, but now we know we have a Goblin Cage in hand, and we're good, we're good. They're running Goblin Giant. No surprise. It's a pretty common deck in the meta, honestly. A lot of Goblin Giant. It's a pretty good card. Good news for us is they don't seem to have a ton of splash in this deck. But we do need to watch out for like a really strong counter push. Okay. He goes Sparky, so I'm going to hogs into the opposite lane. Maybe take advantage of that. I was seeing if they were going to play the minions. They opt not to. No problem. We're going to have our Evo Recruits in hand for the Sparky, so that's awesome. Zappy's fire rate just a little too slow to take care of that, unfortunately. Okay, we're going to Goblin Cage really low here. And then when we can afford it, we're going to go in for the Recruits. One mini P.E.K.K.A. shot is not that big of a deal. Okay. And hopefully... Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. We're going to have a nice little charge here. Okay, they do play the minions. We're going to fireball, or we're going to arrows that. Beautiful. Zappies here. And now we only need one big push here to kind of finish off their tower. I'm going to wait, though. I don't want to play pigs into a Sparky, so I'm going to make them... Okay, so they do. I'm going to preemptively Goblin Cage here. And then I'm going to do this, actually. Yeah, because I knew he was going to pop the ability. Then we're going to kite it back with Royal Hogs. And I don't think there's really any way that he defends this for no damage. So that's really, really good for us. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then what we can do is we can go like this. And I don't really see them breaking through. Hopefully, Zappy stun it. Beautiful, chat. And we just beat a top 500 player. It was a really good matchup for us, to be fair, but that's a good game. We'll see you in the next one. All right, into our match here. So, tips for playing this deck, honestly, is just you can kind of chill a lot of the time and try and rely on a counter push. So you can see here, they barely get any damage, right? And we're just going to go in with the counter push and see if we can get damage. This deck is really good at getting positive elixir trades because your defense is so good. And it's really easy. Most of the time, you just kind of split it in the back and you usually get a good defense. So if you look at that, that was a very, very nice positive elixir trade for us. We're going to drop the Zappies low here. Okay, he does pop the Little Prince ability. I'm going to bar barrel. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, so it's the Royal Hog Earthquake deck. So he's going to have Royal Hog, Earthquake, Log, Delivery. So good to know. I don't foresee this being too challenging of a matchup. The flying machine's going to get a lot of value for us on our end of the map because they have no spells to target your air units when they're on your side of the map. So we're going to keep that in mind. I'm just going to cycle it in the back here. Might delivery, he might cannon, and then I'm just going to chill. Okay. I don't really want to play anything necessarily. This deck really relies on the counter push, so I'm going to Goblin Cage here, because if he does go for hogs, I can go for Evo recruits. Okay. Okay, once that pops, I'm going to go like this. And he is going to get a little bit of damage, but we're going to have a really, really nasty counter push, to be completely honest. Okay. Kind of wastes his Evo Skeletons, I feel like, because Evo Skeletons can get a lot of value when you split them, and they don't do that. So, okay, no login hands. And you can see we got way more damage than they got. They can delivery on this, but we're still going to get a lot of pig damage. So that was good patience by us there. And we're actually going to put that into spell range so we can kind of chill here. Okay, I'm going to go for a late fireball here. Push all the hogs back. Yeah, figured he was going to go in for the earthquake. Beautiful, beautiful. Going to go like this just to apply a little bit of pressure. Flying machine in the middle. That's one of your best spots to play the flying machine. If you look, nothing he plays can take care of this flying machine because he can't delivery on it. It hasn't yet crossed the bridge. So it's such a nuisance for him. He has to play something on it or he loses his tower. Beautiful. We're going to go like this and get ready with our fireball. If he goes in for the earthquake, he'll struggle to defend this. Beautiful, he does. And he's not going to be able to defend that. He can cannon, but those prigs are probably going to break through. So that's a good matchup for us. I mean, this deck doesn't have a lot of bad matchups, but we definitely outplayed our opponent as well. So that's a good game, and we'll see you in the next one. And to our next match here. So far, so good. In terms of starting plays with this deck, you can kind of do a lot. Most of the time, you can just wait and just mirror something in the back. Not like literally mirror, but like he played a knight, so I'm going to play my Zappies. He just played his Valkyrie, which is one of the best counters to hogs, so I'm going to go in here and see if I get any spell value. Okay, he goes for the NATO, but that's actually still going to get a lot of damage on the tower. So I'm pretty content with that interaction. Zappy going to do his best on this Valkyrie. I'm going to play a bar barrel just to take minimum damage. Minimal damage. Okay, so he does get the King Tower activated, though. I'm going to drop a Goblin Cage. You can always cycle a Goblin Cage like that if you're not 100% sure what they're running. Looks like he's running, I mean, Battle Healer usually means like Elixir Golem or something, but we don't know for sure. We kind of want to play around the Valkyrie. Whenever they have a Valkyrie, like, you want to make sure you minimize the value that you give to that. So that's a pretty free fireball for us. I feel like that's a no-brainer. It's an even trade, and we get tower damage, and then he also needs to spend on our troops. So he's probably going to pop the Queen ability. Flying Machine locks onto the Queen, so if he doesn't pop the ability, I think that gets taken care of. Nah, it doesn't, unfortunately. But I think we're going to bait him to pop the ability, and then we're going to go for the Bar Barrel. Okay, I might have played that a little too early. But that's all good. Bar Barrel might get one shot. Yeah, ooh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so he does have the Valkyrie, so I'm just going to chill. Goes for the Sparky, so I'm going to go for Hogs in the opposite lane. Yeah, okay, he's going to Valkyrie. That's fine. Recruits are one of the best responses to the Sparky, so I'll be fine. We're going to Flying Machine like this. And then we're going to get ready with our recruits here. Sparky Surround as well as the Battle Healer. And then this is a good fireball. We can hit everything. Minus the E-Wiz. But it doesn't really matter. We're fine. Really weird deck. I mean, I don't know if Sparky's their only win condition. If so, that would be really bad. When in doubt, we're just going to cycle Zappies in the back. Same thing. I mean, he dropped the Sparky, so we're going to go like that. He'll probably just Valkyrie. Yeah, it's so funny. Even Evo Valkyrie, the Hoggies do get a little bit of damage, so no complaints from us. We haven't seen any reason to not go for our Flying Machines like this. They're really good. Okay. And Evo recruits are so good. We're going to Fireball like this to take care of the Queen and the remainder of the Sparky. Just want to minimize any risk, right? Like, my biggest risk in this matchup is somehow the Sparky connecting. But other than that, I haven't seen anything in his deck that I'm really stressed about. Could be one of those, like, no win condition decks. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, bold strategy, bold strategy. His win condition is Sparky NATO or something is what it looks like. So I'm actually going to Flying Machine here. And I think that Mother Witch was a mistake. I think he's going to Valkyrie on the right when he gets enough. Exactly. So we're going to Royal Hogs into this lane. And I believe after playing that E-Wiz, he's going to struggle to defend that right side. He's extremely low on Elixir. And we can go in for the Fireball. But to be honest, we could have taken either side tower. So that's a good match. We'll see you in the next one. All right, into our next match here. So the cool thing about this deck is I feel like it kind of plays itself. It's, I mean, not as much as like a spawner deck, but a deck like this, like, you don't really need too much critical thinking to figure out what needs to be done. So in that scenario, he played the Goblin Cage at the bridge, and I got a free Flying Machine, pretty much. Beautiful. And look how much value that Flying Machine's getting. You know, I just impulsively responded with arrows on the Goblin Gang, and we're fine. Hopefully that Musketeer... Yes, nice. Now he needs to spend more on the Brawler. Probably like Skeletons or something like that. Late Fisherman. I'm going to Bar Barrel on this Muskie. If they don't respond to the barrel, it'll get one shot. We'll see if they just let it go. They probably will. I'm going to split Zappies in the back. And try and figure out what the matchup looks like. Muskie, Goblin Gang doesn't tell me a ton. We're up a little bit of Elixir, so now's our time to go in. Kind of figure out what we're working with. Okay, Goblin Cage makes sense. Maybe they'll give us arrows value on one side. Okay, I'm just going to chill because they played the Recruits. That's fine. Flying Machine does help out with that Brawler. That's what I was wondering about. Flying Machine is such a good card if they don't have a counter to it. Not saying that they don't necessarily have a counter for it in this instance. We're going to take that. Was waiting for him to play that. And now that's going to get a lock on the tower. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. It's just such a menacing deck, dude. It's so annoying for so many people. And once this stops here, I'm going to just take a Fireball on both of these. It'll be an easy defense. And so far, so good. Our next Recruits will be evolved as well. For those of you that don't know, every other Royal Recruits that you play will be evolved. Nice. He cycles his Goblin Cage a lot lower this time. He learned from his mistake. So we're going to mirror that. Goes for the log. I don't know if I agree with that because we do have the Evo Recruits. I'm going to go like this here. I'm going to take these arrows onto everything. And I might even take a Fireball here too. I think that was a bad Fireball because we didn't hit the Goblin Brawler. But Flying Machine is going to be amazing on defense here, as well as the Goblin Brawler. It doesn't look like he has a big spell, so this Flying Machine is going to get a ton of value. Okay, we're going to arrows there. Good arrows. He got a lot of value with those Evo Recruits, to be completely honest, so that's well played to him. And probably not our smartest spell placement, but when in doubt, we're just going to cycle Recruits in the back. No big deal. It's going to take care of the Fisherman. Make our life easy. He goes for the Recruits as well. Well played. So instead of the Flying Machine, it looks like he has the Musketeer. So we need to watch out for the Muskie. And kind of Fireball it, I think, is the move. Okay, good. We can save our arrows. That's what I'm talking about. We want to Fireball the Muskie. Okay. And he plays his Recruits, so we're going to go like this. And I want to... little slow on my reactions right there, to be completely honest. That's my fault. Okay, Flying Machine being a very, very big menace at this moment in time. Flying Machine still being an absolute menace. And we'll see what they play, like a late Cage or something, but... yeah, good pre-Fireball by us, and that's going to be a good game. That wasn't even the cleanest game, but that just shows you, like, you can make so many mistakes with this deck and still win. So that's a good game. We'll see you in the next one. Into our next match here. So far, so good. With this start in hand, I would definitely wait. You could play a Goblin Cage, depending on what they do. So because he goes for the Little Prince, I'll just play a Goblin Cage in the back. A lot of Little Prince in this meta, and this deck does very, very well against Little Prince in general. Spread everything out here. I don't want to give them spell value. And I don't want the Prince to lock onto my tower. Fortunately, they do. Great arrows values for us. And my boy is going to eat a ton of damage there. You overcommit once with this deck, against this deck, and you're going to eat a ton of damage. And just like that, we took 2/3 of their tower. Nice. It looks like it's E-Giant, though, so not the best matchup for us, but absolutely not the worst. The fact that we have a building in this deck is already great for us. Nice. Okay. We'll see if they can deal with the spam. That's the thing with this deck is most people just can't properly defend all of the spam. We also will have Fireball for the Evo Archers. So I'm stoked about that. Lion Machine just to support this. Okay, it drops a Giant. Okay, so it might be Giant Graveyard, actually. Is kind of what it looks like. I'll take this Fireball on the Little Prince. Nice. Forces out a Snowball. It is definitely Giant Graveyard. So we're going to wait here. See if they go for the ability. And if they do, we will Bar Barrel. Okay, we're going to Bar Barrel like this just to minimize damage on our tower. Okay, and that Goblin Brawler is going to do a lot of damage. Okay. And arrows don't kill the Evo Archers, unfortunately, but they do a lot of damage. I wish I had my Fireball in cycle. I think if I could play that back, I wouldn't have fireballed the Little Prince, to be completely honest. I would have waited. I'm going to cycle recruits in the back. And then I would have had Fireball for the Evo Archers. So that's a mistake by my end. He just cycles the Goblins. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Not saying it's a bad play. Just saying I don't know. He cycles the Bowler. He's getting ready. I will take this Fireball this time because he doesn't have Evo Archers in hand. Okay, he's definitely going to go in on the other side, but that Flying Machine is going to take his tower if he's not careful. And guess what we have in hand now? We now have the Evo Recruits. It's going to DPS all of this down. We're going to arrows on everything. Didn't even need those arrows, but I just wanted to play a spell. And the defense that this deck provides is amazing, as well as the pressure. So, didn't even get to really play his win condition. I was going to say, that's his first graveyard of the game. And this deck also has a ton of graveyard answers. Arrows ain't going to do anything. So, good win against Giant Graveyard. We'll see you in the next one. Into our next match here. This deck's kind of fun. I mean, as someone who runs log bait, I despise this deck. I really do. I despise this deck because it's so good. And specifically for log bait, it's a horrible matchup. But you know, every once in a while you need to just go to the other side. Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, you know. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. It's gonna help out with everything. And I think that was a little ambitious by my boy. Just a little ambitious. But it's fine. We take no damage. And they're going to have to spend on this counter push. Probably just going to drop, yeah, something cheap. He has 2 spirits in this deck. That's really interesting. So because we're up a little bit of elixir, I think I'm going to go for my recruits in the back. I think he is back to a hog. He could go in for like a hog firecracker or something. We're going to want to minimize the damage that we take from the firecracker. We do have Fireball ready. And I'm going to Fireball the Firecracker. It just gets too much value for him. He is the mirror. That's hilarious. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Okay. Crazy deck by my boy. Okay, so note to self, the way that we want to orient our cycle is we want to... Oh, can we actually activate King Tower here? That would be huge. I'm going to Bar Barrel like this. We don't block the Fire Spear, but we get the King Tower activation. Against Hog Rider, that's huge. So what I was saying is we want to save arrows for the normal Firecracker, and then we will have Fireball for the Evo Cracker. So we're going to try and orient our deck in that way. Or orient our cycle, rather. I don't know what he was predicting, to be completely honest. King Tower barely misplaced, so it doesn't help out. But 1 Hog Shot is not bad at all. And Double Elixir is going to get a lot better for us because we're going to have enough to afford our spells. Okay, so now we're ready for the Firecracker whenever they choose to play it. Okay. I didn't realize it was the Evo Firecracker. My fault. Oh, I'm going to Fireball it. Oh, no. Evo Firecracker gets so much value. Like I said, that was my fault for not recognizing that they were on their Evolved Firecracker. So that's on me. But we're fine. We're still in a really good spot in terms of momentum of the game and damage that we've taken. I'm going to Flying Machine up here just to be a little aggressive with it. And we're going to try and fix our cycle like I said. Okay, we're going to have arrows here for this firecracker. And then if they mirror it, never mind, they can't mirror it anymore. Beautiful. Beautiful. They do not have firecracker in hand, so I'm actually going to go in all in one lane. Beautiful. Okay, there's the cracker. We're going to fireball it, though. Yep, okay. Fine with me, fine with me. And my man is playing such an interesting deck. I'm not going to lie. And just like that, game's over. So my dude had firecracker, mirrored firecracker. Wasn't good enough. That's a good game we'll see in the next one. Into our next match here. Okay. I have a pretty nice starting hand. I could actually go for any of these. Probably not recruits. I play people online all the time that go for recruits first play, and it like makes me so angry. So we're going to ignore that Zappy. Sparky, and we're going to go into the opposite lane. I think I found that to be an okay play. I'm going to go like this and get ready to get our recruits down to block a Sparky shot, hopefully. Perfect timing. And I don't think going for Sparky first play is a very good move either, to be completely honest. Like, I know he went for that and I don't know. I guess I don't really get like a crazy punish off of it, but I just find that to not be a great play. As someone who doesn't play Sparky at all, I just like, it irks me. Okay, we're going to eat no damage here. Flying Machine going to do work. You might just ignore it. Yeah, I'm going to chill. I was thinking of sending the bar barrel to tank, but nice. Okay. Burns the minions. I want to try and force out Elixir on this bar barrel, so then maybe I can go... Yeah, perfect. Okay. So go for the hogs in the opposite lane. Might fireball it when he gets enough. Or he might just let it go. He might lose. Okay, he fireballs late. That's actually... I feel like that's a horrible move. I think he should have just let it go, to be completely honest.
What up? Future king over here.
And in case you're wondering, the fire rate of the Zappies is slower than that of the Sparky. If you're wondering when I found that out, the answer is today. I didn't know that interaction, and now I do. So that's wonderful. Either way, he's going to have a hard time defending this. He overcommitted, so it's not a problem. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We take most of their right-hand tower. Even though we flubbed it. I'm going to catch the minions here with these arrows, most likely. Yeah, that was really the only thing he had in hand for that. That was great. So, well played by us. We're going to cycle Zappies like this. We know that Zappies aren't a great counter to Sparky. We learned that just a moment ago. I'm going to fireball like this. It hits the little prince, leaves it with like 1 HP, and it maims the Sparky. So that's fine with me. Pops the Guardian ability. No surprise, honestly. Recruits like this, and then I'm going to bar barrel to take care of the little prince. Then I'm going to arrows onto everything just to take care of those minions. And this game's pretty much over at this point. I'm going to pressure as well. I want to bait out a Sparky, so that way it can't support the push. Okay, he played the Sparky in the wrong lane, so that's not what I meant. I was hoping he would play Sparky on that side. Yeah, force out a defensive fireball. So that's a good game, I think. Yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. 7 times 3 is 21. Try and get one more game. Hit that. Into our second to last match, most likely. And I'm going to wait. Like I mentioned, you don't want to make the first move with this deck. You don't want to. You can. But you rely on positive elixir trades. I mean, obviously a lot of decks do. But this deck specifically thrives when your opponents overspend. I feel like he might go for like... I'll just arrows that. They get too much value otherwise. Yep. Interesting. Okay. Goes for the kite. Okay. I'm actually... Oh, no! I thought the Dark Prince was going to go support that. That's why I played that Goblin Cage. We would have gotten so much damage. Oh, my gosh. That was a big flub. Oh, my gosh. We still took, like, their entire tower. I thought the Dark Prince was going to support... Oh, Zappies, please. No, Zappies, please. Zappies, please. Zappies, Zappies, Zappies. No! Ay, caramba. Okay, we're fine. Oh, Zappy's fire rate needs to be buffed. Just kidding. This deck needs no buffs. Okay, so despite a defensive flub, we find ourselves in a winning position. We're not going to talk about that Zappy's mistake. I should have learned. I should have learned. It's fine. All right. I'm going to try and force out some elixir here. I'm going to go for a flying machine. I don't know why he went for the monk like that. I don't really have anything that I would have played on the tower, to be completely honest. Okay. It's a good Goblin Giant. It's just not going to get a ton of value for him. Like, it's going into the wrong lane, and we're going to have a nasty counter push. So he has Dark Prince, but with those things charging, yeah, that's what I was going to say. And it's going to be targeting the Royal Hogs, so our Royal Recruits are going to be DPSing down that Dark Prince. Little dash onto the tower. Royal Recruits are so good. I think they're the best recruit in the whole, or the best evolution in the whole game. Nice. 55 seconds of defending, and we're golden. Unless they gave up. I probably would give up. They did not give up. Okay, I respect it. I respect the hustle. Fortunately, we have one of the best Zappy defenses, or Sparky defenses in the whole game. Okay, I'm nervous about this. I'm just going to go... Oh, Evo Bats, unfortunately. Oh, he had the monk. He had the monk ability. I wasn't ready for the monk ability. I'm not going to lie, chat. I wasn't ready for the monk ability. That monk ability was so well played, and it didn't even get anything for him though. Oh, that NATO! That NATO almost cooked me. Okay, so I mean he played really well actually. Like that push was good, but Evo Bats kind of sucked. So that's a good game. We'll see you in the last game. Into our final match of the video, and I have to say, I am so satisfied with the matchups we've been getting, but then again, I genuinely feel like this deck doesn't have that many bad matchups. We're going to Zappies like this. I think some of them will shoot the bats. Kind of. Yeah, ish. So we don't take that much damage there, which is nice. And we got a +1 trade. This will force out goblins, maybe. And a berry tower. Well played. But now that the berry tower is out of cycle, I'm going to go like this. And that was awesome that Bomb Tower is one of the best responses to the Hogs. So I'm super satisfied with that. We're going to see if we can cycle and get ready to... We know he has bats, so we're going to see... I want to save my arrows for the bats. We're going to see if they play them. They do. Okay, there they are. Yep. 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 That's all it takes. One push is all it takes. Disgusting. This deck is disgusting, man. I mean it. I mean it. To be fair, that was like pretty calculated by me. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna eat this, but we're gonna live. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else I could have done in that situation. So that's fine. This should force out something. Yeah, defensive miner. And your boy just has to defend for a minute, and life is good. This should force out something. Probably goblins or maybe a Mother Witch. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, no way he gives up his tower. What? I feel like that's not a good play. I feel like you want to make me spend on it. Alright. So far, so good. I'm going to split Zappies. I'm going to save my Goblin Cage for the inevitable wall breakers, I think. Okay, recruits in the back. Have our flying machine ready. Nice. They play a bomb tower. It's good for us. Flying machine out of the range of poison. We're going to be ready with arrows as well as our goblin cage. Okay, I will fireball that. Oh, and we hit the goblins. Why would he play the goblins on top like that? I don't know. And I will apply a little bit of pressure, mainly so that they can't go all in. Yeah, nice. Okay, force out another berry tower. Okay. Mother Witch by my opponent. And I'm just going to Goblin Cage. Yep. 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 Don't want to give him any more poison value, so I'm just going to let that go. And we are 17 seconds away from clutching out this game. And I'm going to have to tell you guys right now, we got it. Good game to my opponent, but, you know, no match for the sheer skill that I possess. Just kidding. This deck is broken. That's a good game. Catch it in the outro. that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Here's the deck one more time if you want to like screenshot it and use it for later. Please give it a try. It is so good. It's so easy to play. I promise you'll get some wins. So thanks again, and I'll see you in another video real soon.